Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Welcome to more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Let's go ahead and start the Northeast Corridor as planned. And we're going to start that with the first of two scenarios I'm going to look at this weekend. You notice, by the way, there are some Amtrak Acela Express scenarios in here. These are also from the DLC. So that DLC covers both of the New York routes. I actually didn't remember that until I came down here and looked at this yesterday. So, yeah. The scenarios from the Amtrak Acela Express come with the Amtrak Acela Express, just like the other ones on New York New Haven. The four scenarios that come with it are Early Clocker, or with the DLC rather, are Early Clocker, Evening Clocker, Lucky Northeast Regional, and the Keystone. You're going to notice that two of them are fairly longer scenarios, 100 and 140 minutes. I'm not doing those right now because I figure I'm going to have to split those into two parts most likely. They might be like back and forth services, or it might just take a long time to get across the map. I'm not sure which, but either way, they're very, very long services. For example, late Friday night from Philadelphia to New York is the 13th. We'll be unlucky, so must be some things happening in that to cause it to be a problem. But anyway, despite the difficulty being rated number 4, it is the first of the 4 scenarios listed in the manual. I'm going to go with that ordering, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip down to the Keystone for tomorrow's video. And that's going to take care of 2 scenarios on this particular route. We're going to come back at a later time and do these other 2 because they're longer scenarios. They're going to need to be done in 2 parts most likely. But I may change my mind. I may just decide I want to do a Tuesday video with a long run. And if I do that, I do that. But otherwise, I'm going to probably split them into 2 parts on another weekend. That's the best guess I have on that right now. But for right now, we are going to go ahead and start with Early Clocker, driving an Amtrak stopping service from Philadelphia to Trenton. And obviously, the route does go all the way to New York, so we're not seeing the Trenton to New York section, which is probably what makes those scenarios about 100 minutes. I think it's about a 60-minute drive to from Trenton to New York, unless I'm mistaken. There must be some shunting in the 140-minute one, but I don't know. In any case, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves started on this Amtrak stopping service. Let's go. Good morning, engineer. Your train is due to leave for Trenton at 7:05 behind the late-running service, just pulling in to your right. You'll be making 2 station stops along the way. This service would normally go all the way to New York, but an infrastructure failure between Trenton and Hamilton will see it terminating at Trenton today. Be sure to observe signals and track speed limits. That's a rush to get that in. You can see the train to the right, our left as we're looking at the train arriving. And now you can see the train is on the right. So doors are going to open for passengers, reversers are going to go up. We're going to make sure a brake is applied because you notice there's no brake. If we start on an uphill, that'd be pretty bad. Or a downhill or anything. Especially if it's right by a red signal. Yeah, the train loads in without the brake supply for some reason. I don't understand why that is. So you notice I already got the headlights on. That's the main thing I'm worried about. You can't see anything yet, but to the right is you see a couple of dashes on the area where numbers are going to appear, and that looks like a signal on the right as well, above that. So that is the in-cab indicator of the speed and signals going on around you. So we're going to be zooming in and looking at that a bit. I'm going to do that very early as we get to our first signal, which is straight ahead. So I'm going to leave at a very slow speed. We currently have a red signal. Which may be part of the reason why we don't see anything on that thing yet. I'm going to go at 4 miles per hour for right now. I know that seems very, very slow. But if we have a red signal up ahead about a 1/10 of a mile away, we're going to be stopping there anyway. Going to move it up to 5 now, I think. 4 seems too slow. Go at least 5. Look at all the people out that window. Get behind the yellow line, ma'am. Behind the yellow line. Or sir, whatever you are. You're going to hear radio noise on this train. Notice the American flag out the window to the right. Right there. You see it right there. Oops, right there. You can also see the red signal that we have to deal with right now. We've been given a kind of restricting, I think. Yeah, let's zoom in a little and just take another close look at the signal. The in-cab signal has said that we're good, and now it's actually definitely good. So we're going 30 miles per hour as our initial speed limit. Let's go ahead and bring our speed up to 30. We're going to see what happens up ahead. If I see two numbers on the in-cab display, I'm going to be lowering or going to whatever the lower of those numbers is, just so you know. Otherwise, there's a possibility we could be speeding. So I'm going to be trying to pay attention to that as we go. A little harder if it's zoomed out like this because it's far away, but I'll be zooming in a lot as we get to various spots along the journey. So you're going to see me paying special attention to those numbers today. In fact, I apologize if I don't call various landmarks out because I'm going to be paying attention to those numbers to make sure I don't speed. So taking a peek up ahead at the signal, you see we have our flashing green. It just updated as I zoomed in. We're going to have a 60 speed limit coming up, but we're not at that yet. Unfortunately, there is a 45 that's going to take effect before we ever get close to 60, so we're going to be limited to 45. Watch those numbers, you'll see what I mean. I'll zoom in just a little bit for you so you can see it a little better. And I'm going a little too slow now. We're on an uphill stretch right now, so it's kind of hard to get a number to zoom in on and settle in on right now. Notice the top entry went blank, so not sure exactly what happened there, but that will update when we have another speed available for that. We're going to be passing zoo markers, so apparently there's a zoo somewhere. And there is the highway going up on that side. Let's get back to our speed zoom there. Reapplies the speed as I'm on an uphill now. We're now being told we're going to have a 45 up ahead. So we're entering the 60 right now. We're going to just ignore that 60. We're just going to assume as soon as we're allowed to speed up, we can go up to 45. It might be the signal mandating the 45, so we're going to speed up. We're going to find out here. So you have a yellow diagonal over flashing green vertical. And as you can see, the 45 did take effect. It was a signal speed limit. So the signal is telling us that we have to go 45 miles per hour. So diagonal yellow over a flashing green is a 45 speed limit, it looks like. We're now entering a 90 speed limit. But until further notice, we have to limit ourselves to 45. We're now allowed to go 80 miles per hour. going to get a little speed, I'm going to slow down for the station. So I'm not going to stay at... I'm going to stay at 75, actually. I'm not going to stay at this speed for too long, because we're going to be getting slowed down for our station stop. In fact, we're going to start slowing it down now. That'll do nicely. Notice our speed is saying 60 up ahead, and it just changed just like that. So you don't have a lot of time to get your speed down. You have to pay attention to what the signals are telling you. So you have a flashing green, and that is mandating us a 60 for our station stop. At this point I will zoom out because I'm not paying attention to speeds right now. You see I am moving the brake, that red lever there. We're being given a 75 up ahead. We want this train to stop now, so I actually am putting a heavier brake on. We have the time to move a little closer to the end of the platform, so I'm going to go ahead and let the train do that. And now I will stop the train. And that's arrival at North Philadelphia, track number 1 for our first stop on time. Leaving North Philadelphia. Our next stop is Cornwell Heights. Now I notice on this speed indicator we're still being given a warning of a 60, so we're going to limit ourselves to 60 miles per hour for right now. And there is the 60 limit now in effect. There's a 110 coming up. We'll deal with that later. We're being given an 80 right now, but I don't trust that because there's still a 60 on the on-screen, on the in-train, in-cab signaling. There's still a 60 showing there, so I don't trust that 80 yet. I think we're going to get another 60. We can't push this. So it still says 80. There is no entry on the top, so that means we're now apparently clear for 110 miles per hour. We're going to be getting dropped to 50 very quickly though, so I'm not going to actually try to go up to 110. I'm just going to go ahead and go up to a little bit of a speed right now. I'm going to bring it down for the next signal just in case we get dropped at the next signal. So I'm going to zoom in and see what happens on this signal. One more tick. There we go. It is a green signal. We just have to slow down to 50. So we could have gone ahead and taken advantage of the 110 there. We didn't. 100 is coming up as a future speed limit. The future speed limit. Indeed, I am meeting the 50, so the bleeding on my ETA is going to stop for a while. Had a little bit of a jitter there. That was interesting. No lag, just a jitter. If your cab has jitters, please see your engineer. So we're currently slated to arrive 39 seconds early. I'm starting to get a feeling these times are very tight, because I'm not gaining any time on this 50 at all, despite being just above it. So I think the timings on these are very, very tight at first glance. 100 is coming up as our speed limit. We've been cleared to go 100. We're now making up time on our ETA, which I like to see. Now, we don't necessarily have to go 100 miles per hour. We can stay at 97, 98. We're probably fine for our timing. We're being given a warning to drop our speed. We have to drop to 45, so we're going to do that by the next signal, I believe. I think it is based on the signal, which gives us lots of time to do that. We have a slower train over there. That's service number 19. You see the services are only numbered here. There's no actual information associated with them. There's a sun from the train we just passed. Is our speed going to be down in time? I think it will. So we're now passing a slow signal. 45 is now in effect. So it was indeed a signal speed limit. And it was for the junction. There you go. So we're passing a station here. I'll go ahead and show you because I don't have my information ready. If we pop back to where we are, that station, as you can see, is Holmesburg. We can now go 100 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and center the view back on my train there. There we go. Gonna slow my increase now. I see another speed limit change coming up ahead, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. 80 appears to be what we're gonna be dropping to, so right now I'm assuming I can go 100. Oh, we're going to 45. Oh boy. 45 by the next signal. Boy, they don't let us go very fast on this route, do they? 45 by the signal, 80 coming up right now. So I'm dropping to 80 for now. I will be at 45 by the next signal. This is for our slowing down for our stop at Cornwell Heights. Passing through another station. I actually don't have the name of it on hand right now. Very convenient. That might be Bridesburg we just passed. No, I'm on the wrong. Let me check. I actually don't know. I'm gonna double check. Torresdale. Never mind. Torresdale. I literally have the Open Railway map up right now, but I just don't know where I'm going yet. I have no idea where I'm going on that map. Let's get the rest of the speed taken off here for the 45. We have about 2 minutes to make our stop, which our current speed is doable. Oh, so much for the 45. The 45 went away. Okay, well, I'm already going at this speed, so I'm just going to go ahead and come in for the stop now. I was lied to about the speed limit, apparently. So now you know you don't have to go 45 in that section. Just keep going 80, apparently, for a while. But you want to slow down anyway, so coming down to 45 might not be a bad idea. Okay, let's get this train stopped. This is a shorter platform than we're used to here, so I want to try and get the entire set of cars on here if I can. The engine, I think, can go slightly past. And we have arrived at Cornwell Heights, track number 1. leaving Cornwell Heights. Our next and final stop today is Trenton. Normally this train would continue. There's a police car over there. This train would normally continue, but again, the infrastructure problems north of Trenton have caused us to have to stop there today. So zooming back in on our speeds, 80 is our speed limit right now, and 100 is coming up. So we're not worried about anything right now. We're going to go straight up to speed. I know that bell can get annoying, so I don't mind turning it off. 100 now our limit. I'm going to hold at 80 for a moment because we got another signal to pay attention to here. Everything's clear. Right now we're going to be arriving right on time if we manage to pull our speed the whole way. I'm going to stop my speed increase here. I'll show you the map where we are and also orient myself. This is how far along we are already. Notice how far we've already gone. So yeah, we're going very well here today on this route. Good news is I've now found out where on the map I am. I can tell you Croydon station is going to be coming up. Croydon as in, you know, East Croydon, West Croydon, South Croydon on the London to Brighton route. Spelled exactly the same way. Croydon is coming up. In fact, I think this is it. We will be passing by Bristol. Yes, the same Bristol as in Bristol Temple Meads, Bristol Parkway. But just the US version. So, yeah, if you want to visit the American versions of train stations in the UK, this is how you do it. So this curve should take us into Bristol. Apparently I had the curve wrong. This might be the curve that takes us into Bristol. Or we already passed it and I have no idea. Both are valid options. I feel like I missed Bristol. Levittown should be coming up if I have missed Bristol. Given that I'm taking a bit of a curve right now to the right, who knows? I think I missed Bristol. Did I miss Bristol? No, Bristol is right there. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. I'm losing a little bit of time here, so I think I actually need to get my speed up to 100 and hold it there, which is a little bit demanding if you ask me. I'm at the speed limits I should be at in order to maintain, but apparently we have to go all the way up. This is Levittown. So small that you miss it. Just blink and you miss it. There's the American flag again. Let's take the throttle off because I don't want to get rid of my decimal. That's a little scary. I don't think I show any additional stations until Trenton on my map. So if we see any other platforms, I will have to check the map to show you what they are, because I don't know what they are. If there are any, but I don't think there are. So I think we're good. We've got about 6 miles to go. We got about 4 minutes to go. You surely have to be slowing down at some point. Because at this rate we would be there in 3 minutes, so I think we're going to have to slow down. Ah, there it is. The 80's coming up. So we're just going to have to make our own braking for the 80. We have nothing else to do other than slow down for the 80 at this point. Again, trains going by, they're just numbered, so there's nothing information-wise. We're down our 80 speed limit as we approach Trenton. Notice the in-cab signaling did not give us any warning of that because it's a track speed limit, but it does know of the track speed limits, which is why it changed immediately. We have to know where those take effect. We gained 1 second on that. Excellent. So there's apparently no adverse change in the signal up ahead. So we are going to maintain 80 until told otherwise. Yeah, we have a green signal. 65 is coming up. We're going to be slowing down to 30 for station platform entry. So I am coasting at this time. I'm just going to prepare to slow down. We have 2 full minutes to make our stop. Well, a little less than that, but we'll count it. We're well within range of the platform, so I should have no issue with it at this time. If I'm going 65 at the 65 side, we got a problem, because I have to get down to 30 for platform entry. So I'm going to slow it down a little early here. Ooh, that's a freight train. That looked like a Norfolk Southern freight train. Nothing adverse on the cab speed limits right now. I need to get down to 30 in a hurry, so I'm going to do that now. I might be a little early getting down to 30, in fact. But I think I'm still on time, so we're good. Okay, I'm just going to go a little bit under 30, and now we're going to go ahead and just coast to the entry of the station. Once all the train cars are in, I'm going to hit the brakes. And just like that, we're within our guidelines for speed limits. Perfect score should now be happening. So I'm just going to stop the train at the platform somewhere. I'm going to coast in a little bit, but I don't have a lot of time to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop right now. If it will let me. And that's that. Arrival at Trenton. Let's look at the train as we finish. And there's a nice view of what I assume is a park and ride or something back there at Trenton Station. That might just be the station itself as well, I'm not sure. But in any case, that's our first scenario on the Northeast Corridor done. We're going to go ahead and do the 50-minute scenario next time. It takes a little time to get used to the in-cab signaling and knowing where you need to slow down. There are a couple of weird spots just in that first part of the route where you have to pay attention or you're speeding for a moment without realizing it, and then you're back to the regular speed limit. So you can easily lose 10, 20, 30 points in a spot where you don't know you're speeding, and then you look at your score later, wait a minute, why am I speeding? So you have to watch and know what the signals are telling you to do. You have to know when to slow down. That 160 was way, way too short notice. You actually have to know it's coming in order to be able to pull that off, I would think. In any case, the scenario should be finishing. I did open the doors. Oh, everything froze, so we're just going to go to the scoring screen automatically. And just like that, I did not even realize everything froze. So you're going to get to see everything frozen today. We are finished our first scenario, as I said. And it looks like it's a fairly easy scenario to accomplish because I got a couple other thousands on my list from that as well. So early clocker. We've done the early clocker. And now we're going to move ahead to, I forget what the name of it is, but it was a name. So the Keystone, I want to say it is. So the Keystone, I think, is what we're going to do next time. Make sure to tune in for that. And we're going to get that done and see how that one handles. And then we're going to have some other kind of scenario coming up after that. Make sure you do like the video and make sure you definitely subscribe to the channel because I want you to know when I do post my videos. I did mention there's going to be a special project coming up I want you to keep an eye out for. I'm not going to spoil when or how it is. So hit that notification bell and you will know when I post that video, and I will introduce it as such when it is that special project as well. So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, stay tuned for the Keystone next time. That's tomorrow. And I hope to see you then. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Until tomorrow, I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.